In September last year, these arrived. And at the time, I thought it was going to be one of the biggest upgrades I'd ever make to my property. A professionally installed home battery system. Instead, after sitting in the boxes for 10 months, they're gone, loaded into the back of a lorry. Not because there was anything wrong with them, not because I changed my mind, but because whilst they were sitting here waiting to be installed, the way that home battery systems in the UK are expected to be installed completely changed. And I genuinely don't think that many people realise just how difficult home battery systems are going to be to install, and no one's talking about it. So if you're thinking about home battery storage, or you're thinking about solar, or you've heard about the new DIY plug-in solar systems that are coming to the UK, then this is something you need to know. So you might be wondering how I ended up in this situation in the first place. Well, being a YouTuber, sometimes you get offered stuff, and some of you might know from previous videos that I got offered a couple of batteries. Well, it was more than a couple of batteries. It was like an all-in-one system. It had an EV charger, it was a hybrid inverter, and 5 kilowatt hours worth of batteries. It was actually one of the first sponsorship collaboration deals that I'd ever tried to negotiate, and looking back, I was far too inexperienced. So I think the original fee that I asked for, it was about 1,400 quid. It wasn't a lot of money, and with a bit more negotiation, the agency managed to get me down to £0. Absolutely nothing. Now I'm a bit wiser now, so today I would absolutely never agree to that. It's like asking a tradesman to fit your kitchen, getting a quote for supply and fit, and then saying, well, if I buy the kitchen, will you just fit it for free? No, I don't think so. But the only reason why I did agree was because they was meant to cover 100% of the installation costs. Yeah, no sponsorship fee, but I get a battery system that's professionally installed that I could live with and benefit from. So the batteries arrived, and then absolutely nothing happened. At the time, that wasn't because of regulations or anything. It was simply because the manufacturer doesn't have an installer network in the UK. And later I found out they also fell out with their own UK distributor. I say nothing happens, I still done my bit. I was sorting out all this. I had to dig out my French drain, expose all of my ducting down here and everything. They made me write a script. I'd spent a lot of times trying to sort this out, and eventually it got to a point where they couldn't find anyone to install it. So they asked me if I knew anyone, and luckily, one of the subscribers, he does this kind of stuff for a living, and he'd already previously offered, and he said, if you need any help with anything, give me a shout. So I thought I got the project moving again, but instead, that's when everything changed. Maggie, get the mole, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it. One of the first things he asked me is whether I'd heard of PAS 63100, and I'd never heard of that. PAS 63100 was guidance published through the British Standards Institution for the installation of domestic battery energy storage systems. Originally, it was exactly that, just guidance. Whilst the batteries have been sitting there all this time, that guidance was being incorporated into BESS 7671, which is the UK's wiring regulations. The updated regulations come into effect in April this year. Now there is a bit of a transition period up until October, which I don't particularly understand. Now why is that even important to anyone? It's because building regulations require you to comply with BESS 7671. So this isn't just a recommendation that the installers can choose to ignore. If they're signing off the work, it's something that they're expected to work to. And that's where the problem started. So my installer, Julian, I appreciate your help, mate. I'm sorry that I wasted all of your time. He asked me where I wanted to put the battery, and I said here, and he immediately raised the concern. You see, the biggest issue wasn't the batteries themselves, it was fire safety. Despite lithium battery fires being rare, if one does occur, they're incredibly difficult to extinguish, they produce huge amounts of heat, they can reignite, and because of that, the guidance or the regulations now are all about reducing the risk to the occupants if they need to escape safely should the worst happen. That means having to think very carefully about where these batteries are located. The sort of places that people used to commonly install them in the past, like under stairs, in lofts, in utility rooms, in attached garages, they may not actually be suitable places anymore. Even putting it outside somewhere isn't that straightforward. And the guidance actually introduces separation distances from things like doors and windows. So I couldn't put one there or even there. I'm not even sure it makes sense to have it over there anyway, because my solar panels are up here. This is where my electric comes in. Thing is, there are also separation distances to combustible materials. I've got my solar panels there, my inverter's just in there and a consumer unit there. So the ideal place, tucked out of the way, would have been there, but I can't put it there because it's an escape route. I can't move it over and put it here because it's still within a certain distance of the escape route. I can't move it around the corner or have it anywhere on this building because it's made of combustible material. So if I wanted to put it here, I'd have to take all that cladding off and replace it with fibre cement cladding maybe, or even put fireboard over that whole lot. But I need to do it 2 metres that way, 2 metres that way, 2 metres up in the air. But if I put it there, that is too close to, well, not only this wood chip, this wooden fence, and I also need to protect my neighbours' imaginary buildings over here, which means that I'd need to build a firewall all the way down here, 2 metres higher, probably 5 metres wide. Not only that, these batteries, they shouldn't be exposed to full sun, and this is south facing. So because of all that, Julian recommended an external enclosure, and I understand completely why. At the end of the day, he's the one that's signing off on it. Plus it's going on the internet, plus I haven't been signed off on this building or the other one over there. That meant that we would need an enclosure up here, and it can't be too close to the boundary again, otherwise obviously it needs to be fully fireproof. So he recommended to put one here over the top of this kiosk, and if he believes that that's the most compliant and safest option, that's exactly what he should be recommending. The problem is the brand wasn't banking on paying for a compliant installation that included an enclosure. I'd also need a concrete base here. That includes more materials, more labour. So of course, all of these things added up. And whilst it was at a massive discount and they was getting free labour from me and from him, the brand and the agency wasn't prepared to meet that cost and tried to then pass that cost on to me. So ultimately, they was expecting me to do a load of work, pay out of my own pocket, all to advertise their product. It's like they think that money grows on trees or something. Nice. And that's where the collaboration come to an end, because I said no, and about 2 months later, they collected the batteries. Thing is, if they would have just paid my original fee in the first place, I probably would have done it, even though I still would have been out of pocket. I should have charged them a 10-month storage fee, shouldn't I? But enough about me. What about you? How's it going to affect you? Not everyone's got a big detached house with loads of land and an endless pot of money for external closures and all this jazz. What about people in terrace houses? What about people in big housing estates where everything's tightly packed together? Can you install your battery system far enough away from windows and doors? It's going to be a complete nightmare. I honestly think that a lot of homeowners are going to assume that they can fit the battery anywhere they like, just like people have done for years, but they're going to have a shock. And what about the DIY solar kits, the ones that you plug in the wall? That's going to be legal in August. Conveniently, they didn't legalise the battery part as well. I wonder why. Is it anything to do with these additional fire regulations or anything? Can you imagine that? People just plugging it in the wall inside their house and stuff. Would your insurance company pay out if there was a fire in your house as a result of that? I know battery fires matter. Safety is always important. But regulation, it only works if people can realistically comply with it. I think we've reached a point where home battery installation is going to be far more difficult than people realise. You're not going to be able to cover it up with a nice like wooden enclosure anymore. If you're an installer, have you got any solutions to this? And if you're a homeowner, where would you put yours?